Hero Web Comics here, doing a video that well, people are going to hate. It's R-rated. It's going to be R-rated, but people are going to hate it because, of course, I'm saying don't drink alcohol or do drugs. But here's the deal: I'm saying this because of the three instances I've seen involving people who were either affected by alcohol or drugs. I don't know exactly which, especially this third latest incident, which I'll get to eventually. Which is one of the main reasons why this is going to be an R-rated thing. All right, Chrono Trigger is coming back. It will be coming back eventually, but yeah, we are. I don't have much time. It's definitely something I really want to get off my chest while it's fresh. While it's, I can still remember it clearly. I just want to get off my chest as soon as possible. So yeah, here we go. Um, Basically, over the last few, months and years, I definitely been noticing some stuff about about these things, alcohol and drugs. That people affected by them, how just crazy they act. It's just not cool at all. Uh, Now, that's not cool at all. Now here's the deal. Of course, you can take moderation, but I'd rather just not, because basically, it's like someone's moderation. Just people drink it because they want to feel good, and like with anything like this, your body gets used to it, so you have to drink more. And, you have to get more and more and more and more, and the next thing you get too much. So forget that stuff. Forget that. But here's the deal. These three incidences definitely are what made me do this video. I'm gonna go from most serious to least serious, but yeah, and because basically, yeah, most serious to least serious. It's just the way it is, and then we'll get in on a very silly, weird note. So let's go. The first incident was the most serious. It was a week or two ago. I was walking uh, a few yards behind this lady in her mid 60s or 70s, from the 70s, or maybe older. Who knows exactly? Now, of course, she knows who she's seen me before. We live in the same apartment. She will hang out with a bunch of her friends, in at the entrance of the apartment. And, there's a park bench there. They can bring out their chairs, just hang out and talk about stuff during the day. And I obviously would say hi to them as I walked by. And so I was like, oh, it's that lady, okay. So I wanted to stay a few good distance away, few yards, just so I don't look like a star, don't look creepy, So I was a few yards away, walking behind her, um, and then we went, walked into to the parking lot of our apartment, of the other part of our apartment. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. She's gonna go straight for this one exit that's closest. I'm gonna go for the exit that's further away, that's closer to my apartment. So okay, I'll turn. She'll go straight. I'll turn. So I went to turn, and then I just see her just fall on the ground. And it's just like she falls on the ground hard enough and she hits the ground hard enough to break the handle off of the plastic, uh, well, like thermos thing she was holding. Okay, she broke that. And I'm like, I see that. It's one of those things that's just like, you don't, it's like the momentum. Her leg didn't go where she wanted it to go, so the momentum got screwed up. And her, she didn't catch herself, so she just fell. And I'm like, see that? And I'm like, for a second, I'm like, did that just happen? But then I'm like, oh wait, no. Oh, like walk over to her, and I said, like, are you okay? And she opened her eyes. She said she was, but she did not get up. I'm like, okay, and I'm just gonna call for help. I said, I dialed 911. You know, got assured that the EMS was on its way. Then hung out with her while she was basically just laying there. She did not get up. And then so many people came out and were like, "Well, yeah, don't get up, don't get up, just stay still, don't I was just like, yeah, and they were like, just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? What happened? I was like, she fell, just, see, she fell and broke her mug, broke her thermos cup thing. I was like, oh, and she's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So yeah, then her family, some of her members of her family came out and started actually snapping at each other, for, because they were all ticked off about her falling. And this was not the first incident time this has happened. But yeah, so she basically they were just all ticked off about it, this whole thing, and eventually, ambulance came. And they asked if she was okay, and lifted her up, put her onto a gurney, and they took her to the hospital. And her family got in the car and drove away. And I walked back to my apartment. I'm like, yeah, that was crazy stuff. Then I realized, I'm like, why did that happen? Then I noticed, uh, then I went over to where her uh, thermos had spilled. Noticed that there was some very strong smelling stuff in that thermos. Well, yeah, so she had been got a bit of a nip, got a wee nip there. So yeah, when a person who is uh say college aged, 20s, mid 20s or so, normal college age, or not. I didn't go to college, but no, I mean like average college age. You know, that alcohol, enough alcohol can throw off your balance, throw off their balance. Okay, combine that with someone who may have some other pre-existing conditions. It's just not good. Just not good at all. So that was just scary right there to see that. And I'm very glad she fell right before she got to a curb, right before she got to like a there was like a raised portion where there was like some where there was like some like ground cover, she fell right before she got to that. So I'm like, oh man, if she had fallen and hit her head on that curb, on that cement curb, that would have been bad news. But she didn't. So I'm like, oh, thank God, thank God. So that was scary stuff right there. Was it all alcohol? No, but definitely alcohol could have an effect on that. Then there's this other story, a second story. We're going to a more lighthearted one. Still kind of scary though, at least in my opinion. But basically, it was St. Patrick's Day. I was waiting for my bus across the street, from the Tilted Kilt. If you live in Cleveland, you know where that is. Tower City, stuff like that. Very bustling. On a normal day, people can get be a bit loud and ignorant, but this is St. Patrick's Day, so people are getting, really loud and ignorant all over the place, and stuff. And there's probably games going and whatnot too. So it's just crazy. But anyway, you have this guy, mid 20s or so, white guy, mid 20s or so. Well, maybe he's Italian. I don't know exactly, but whatever. Like some lighter skinned person, a lighter skinned guy, mid 20s or so, and he's getting a little too. He was basically getting too touchy feely with this guy who's part of a group of dudes who like to wear their pants around their knees. And the dude's like going like, oh man, go on, just like go ahead, stop touching me, man. He's like just swings on him, swings at him, and hits him and knocks him flat on the ground next to me, like right in front of me. I'm like, and I'm like, oh, and everybody, his friends are all like, oh, I don't like standing between him and them. So they like looking at him like, all ticked off about it. And then then some of the people tried to get the chains that fell out of his pocket, and I'm like, no, get away, God, trying to defend this guy. And the cops came and everybody else ran off. They lifted the guy to his feet. I helped him out. I lifted him up to his feet, and the cops came and got him. Picked him up and took him and started talking to him about it's like saying it was a marathon, not a sprint. I'm like, okay, my bus. Then my bus came, so I'm like, yeah, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm like, yeah, dude, was kind of incoherent, because they were like, what the heck, man? What happened? It was like, he's like, I don't know why they did that. I'm like, what? He's like, oh, you okay, sir? It's like, what? I'm like, it was stuff, stupid stuff, And then of course, one of the craziest incidents. Yeah, one of the craziest comes to this incident is in a way scary, but not in a someone could have got hurt or killed way. It's in a I can't believe someone would do this kind of way. Okay, this is going to be the the least violent one, but also the most craziest in some ways. This is why this is going to be an R-rated video. I just wanted to again reiterate that. Okay, for everyone who may be listening. Okay, so yeah, this is how crazy it was. So I was doing what I was supposed to be doing yesterday. Oh well, okay, Sunday. Okay, today is Monday, the 31st of July. Uh, Yesterday on Sunday, I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. I was hanging out. I'm not gonna say where though. My church. I'm just gonna say that for those who know my church. And I was in the back where the garage is. Now, there's a garage. There's like an alley that goes through this garage. You know, cars go through this alley all the time to get, first of all, get into our church parking lot, which is, we have a parking garage in there underneath our building. There's a college dorm. I'm sure, I'm pretty sure college dorms right next door. People go in there all the time. I drive around there, go in there all the time, and basically, while I was sitting in the back, waving people in and waving to them, and saying hi, you know, uh, car full. Well, I think it was a car. Yeah, car pulled up, and the garage door opened. I'm like, okay, they're gonna, the garage door for the dorm opened. I'm like, okay, they're gonna just go in. And they're gonna go in and then just, have a great time. So this is cool, no big deal. But they didn't go in. I'm like, what's going on here? And I see this girl. She like with her arm out the window. She has a cigarette in her hand. I'm like, okay, whatever, and I'm like, whatever, no big deal. And she's hanging out. And the garage door is opened, but then they wait too long and it closes. So I'm like, okay, what's going on here? You know. Then the girl gets out, uh, pulls down the little shorts of hers. I'm like, is she doing what I think she's doing? And then she squatted down. I'm like, she is. Oh shoot! Like I like, uh. So like she was trying, trying to use the car as a shield, the car door as a shield, perhaps. But I was like, oh, bad shield, bad shield. So it's like, it's better shield. my clipboard I had, I like put it up to my face until I saw her stand back up. Put her shorts back on. I'm like, yeah. Why did she do that? There's like a place right, a grocery store right down the street. You can just go in there. Someone can buy something while you go to the restroom. There's a public restroom. I've done that myself. What? But yeah, Sunday morning, Saturday night, most likely there was a party going on. She dealing with the effects of it. That's why I said in this thing. This is the reason why I decided to do this video. Don't saying don't drink alcohol or do drugs because I don't know which one she was which was impairing her, thinking that she because basically these two things can have the effect of making you think everything you do is smart. It isn't. You can do whatever you want. You can't. You're invincible. Things like that. You're not. So I'm like, what? This is not some dark cul-de-sac. This is a place cars go through all the time, and people get walk in and walk around in all the time. I'm like, seeing that, it's just shocking. That's one reason why I'm like, yeah, don't do that. Because then of course, yeah, you're never gonna let that down. Someone, your dude saw that. Okay, girls, your dude saw that. you know. And then now it's like, oh man, it's one of those things that they're gonna have to deal with later. So I'm like, man, what the heck was that, girl? What the heck? Come on. You couldn't wait 5 minutes. You couldn't wait. I'm like, no. So I'm like, man, stuff's crazy. The stuff is crazy. So yeah, no, don't do that stuff. Don't do that. So yeah, that was just not cool. Um. So yeah, that's a video that is not Chrono Trigger or whatever that you like guys like more, but eventually, of course, I will get more stuff on there. Just need more time because this is my it's near 10:30 of the last usually I'm supposed to go to be in bed by 11. So yeah, I really have to try to get some stuff in. So yeah, I will work on that. I'll see you guys next time. Definitely stay away from this stuff. It's just nasty. Makes you do nasty things. So we on YouTube and DeviantArt.